What's good, YouTube? My name is Chris, and welcome to the Sports Talk Podcast. Today, I will be recapping NBA playoffs first round games and my opinions on how each team has played so far. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's start off with the first series, Magic versus Cavs. At first, I thought the Cavs were going to beat the Magic. I felt like the Magic didn't have enough firepower to beat the Cavs, but shockingly, they were able to force it to 7 and almost beat them, but Cavs pulled it through at the end. Paolo Banchero actually played well in his first year in the playoffs. During the playoff matchup, he averaged 27 points a game, 8.6 rebounds, and 4 assists. This man made me believe the Magic were actually going to beat the Cavs, but Donovan Mitchell refused to lose. Donovan Mitchell's stats were 28 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 4.4 assists. This man even had 89 points in the last 2 games of the series. The Orlando Magic have a nice young squad. They just need a few more years to develop. I feel like the Orlando Magic is the team to watch out for in the upcoming seasons. Next off is the Suns versus Timberwolves. I'm really disappointed on how the Phoenix Suns played this series. I thought the Suns were going to put up more of a fight, heck, maybe even win the series, but sadly, they got swept. I feel like the Suns made a mistake trying to form this big three. I feel like they were so focused on bringing a championship to Phoenix instead of seeing the big picture that they were hurting their team. With the trade for Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal, the Suns now have no first-round picks in the 2024 draft. We all know Kevin Durant is going to leave the Suns, but the question is, where will he go?
Anthony Edwards, on the other hand, has been a monster in the playoffs. In the playoffs, he's been averaging 33 points a game, 7.8 rebounds, and 5.6 assists. I feel like the Timberwolves have the team to win it all this year. The way they've been playing is on another level.
Tap, another turnover for Utah. Edwards gets it back and threw it down and won.
Our next series is the Philadelphia 76ers versus the New York Knicks. Now, as a 76ers fan, it's hard watching your team lose once again in the playoffs. I've been watching this team year after year, watching them lose in the first or second round, and to be honest with you, I'm sick of it. Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey play their heart out trying to carry this team to victory, but it just wasn't enough. While playing through 2 injuries, Joel Embiid was able to average 33 points a game, 10.8 rebounds, and 5.7 assists against the New York Knicks. In my opinion, I feel like if Joel Embiid was fully healthy, we would have won the series. Tyrese Maxey this series averages 29 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. This man will be the future of this team. Heck, maybe the future of the NBA. In my opinion, I think he's better than Brunson. I feel like the Sixers' biggest mistake was overpaying Tobias Harris. In 2019, Tobias Harris signed a 5-year contract worth $180 million. 76ers were thinking that Tobias Harris was going to improve and become a star. But unfortunately, he became a bust. Luckily, his contract is finally up, and now the Sixers have more cap space. I'm really excited for this offseason because now the Sixers can find better pieces to build around Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. Moving on to the New York Knicks, I feel like they have the team to make it all the way to the finals. Jalen Brunson has been one of the big pieces for New York Knicks, averaging 36 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 8 assists per game. This man even dropped 40 points the last 4 of his playoff games, tying Michael Jordan for a 40-point game streak in 2024 playoffs. Even though I hate the New York Knicks, I wouldn't be surprised if they win the championship in a few years from now.
Floats it, Hield throws it up, it's off, Hart rebounds and it's over.
Moving on, we got the Lakers versus Nuggets. To be honest, I expected Denver to win this series, but I thought LA was going to put up more of a fight after getting swept last season. The Nuggets are now 12-1 against the Lakers since 2021. To be honest, I don't know what happened to this Lakers team. In the beginning of the season, the Lakers were looking like the team to beat. They even went 7-0 in the first ever in-season tournament. But ever since they fell off and became the 7th seed and had to play in the play-in tournament once again. After this, I think LeBron's going to leave the Lakers. I feel like he might head back to either Cleveland or Miami to finish his career. Or he might wait till his son gets drafted to the NBA so he can play by his side. The Denver Nuggets, on the other hand, is looking like the team that could go back to the finals. This team showed no mercy against the Lakers with Jokic, Murray, and Michael Porter Jr. all cooking. Jokic in this series averaged 27 points, 15 boards, and 9.4 assists. Jamal Murray averaged 24 points, 6.3 assists, and 4.9 rebounds. He even hit a game winner twice against the Lakers. The Nuggets can't make it back to the finals, but I feel like the Minnesota Timberwolves can surprise them.
We go to overtime. Murray makes a move. Game on. The Nuggets have won.
Our next game is the New Orleans Pelicans and the OKC Thunder. To be honest, this series was kind of boring. Probably the worst series in the playoffs this season. I feel like we all knew OKC was going to beat the Pelicans, but I feel like if the Pelicans had Zion Williamson, it would have been a different story. Zion Williamson has yet to make his playoff debut, sadly, to injuries. I feel like with Zion Williamson, the Pelicans could have put up more of a fight, maybe even win the series. Brandon Ingram was a disappointment in the playoffs. He only averaged 14 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Bro was definitely not playoff ready. Moving on to the Thunder, they have a nice young squad, but I don't really see them making it past the second round. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander this series averaged 27 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. He really improved this season, and I feel like he should win MVP. Up next, we got the Indiana Pacers versus the Milwaukee Bucks. To be honest, this series was a disappointment to all the injuries. I feel like if Giannis and Damian Lillard never got hurt, the Milwaukee Bucks will win this series in 6. The fact that the Indiana Pacers were struggling against the Milwaukee Bucks is sad, and I wouldn't be surprised if they get swept the second round. The Indiana Pacers' best player is not even showing up in the playoffs. Tyrese Halliburton in the regular season averaged 20 points a game, 3 rebounds, and 11 assists. But in the playoffs, he's averaging 16 points, 9 rebounds, and only 5 assists. Even though Giannis and Dame was hurt, Chris Middleton stepped up for the Bucks. In this series, he averaged 24 points a game, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists. He even hit 2 clutch buckets to tie the game against the Pacers. This could have been a great series, but sadly it was ruined by injuries.
The Indiana Pacers tasting postseason success for the first time in 10 years as they are moving on to the semifinals.
Next up, we got the Dallas Mavericks versus the Los Angeles Clippers. This series was actually good. I actually thought the series was going to go to 7, but sadly the Mavs were able to beat them in 6. I'm actually shocked on how the Mavericks bounced back from not making it to the playoffs last season to looking like a team that can make it to the finals. Luka and Kyrie proving the league wrong, showing that they can play together. Luka Doncic in the playoff averaged 30 points, 10 assists, and 8 rebounds. While Kyrie Irving, on the other hand, is averaging 24 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds. I can see the Mavs making it to the conference finals, but I don't see them beating either the Nuggets or Timberwolves to make it to the finals. For the Clippers, I don't know what they're going to do. Clippers are another organization trying to form a super team, bringing in Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Russell Westbrook, and even trading for James Harden from the Philadelphia 76ers. They were supposed to be the team to win it all, but unfortunately, they couldn't even make it past the first round. I don't know what they're going to do with Kawhi Leonard. He hasn't been healthy for a playoff game in years. The last time Kawhi Leonard was fully healthy in the playoffs was in 2020. Do you think even though Kawhi Leonard's out that Paul George is going to step up? Unfortunately, playoff P became way off P. Bro went lost in the playoffs. And James Harden, as usual, is a choker in the playoffs. In my opinion, I feel like the Clippers need to trade away Kawhi, Paul George, and James Harden and rebuild their team.
Those Mavericks. Irving dancing, prancing, pulls up, three-pointer, bang! And
Our final first-round series is the Boston Celtics versus the Miami Heat. To be honest, at first, I thought the Miami Heat was going to beat the Boston Celtics again. But when I heard Jimmy Butler was out for the series, I already knew it was over. I feel like if Jimmy Butler was healthy, he would have been able to pull the upset against Boston again. The Celtics do have the team to make it to the finals, but the team that's standing in their way is the New York Knicks. I think the Knicks and Celtics are going to meet in the conference finals, and the series might go into 7. To be honest, it doesn't matter who come out the East. I think anyone in the West can beat either the Knicks or the Celtics. I think the Timberwolves is going to pull it off and win the championship. Anthony Edwards has been playing like Michael Jordan's son, and I feel like he can carry the Timberwolves to the finals. Thank you everyone for listening to my podcast. I hope you guys stick around for more in the near future. Episode 2 coming soon.